Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today is home fragrance empties for the last week. I have both Scentsy and vendor wax, but in particular, I have 7 of the January Bring Back My bars that I have warmed completely that I wanted to share my warm impressions on. Some of them have changed from when I smelled them on cold to when I warmed them. So it has been an interesting few days starting to melt these bars. I always leave timestamps in the description box, so I will start with the Bring Back My bars. That way, if you just wanted to see the reviews on those, you can tune out for the rest of the video if you're not interested in seeing the rest of the empties. But I have Scentsy Bring Back My bar, other Scentsy bars, and then I have a handful of vendor wax items that I went through this week. But we will start with Bring Back My bar. I posted a video a couple weeks ago of my cold sniff first impressions. And then at the end, I kind of share with you what my favorites on cold were. I'm not planning on melting every single one. There's a few that I know that I'm not gonna grab more of. There's a couple that are very summery focused, and it's really hard for me to melt like the Yuzu Dragon. That's a very tropical summery scent. It's hard for me to melt it this time of year when I'm wanting to melt my holiday winter wax. So I'm melting some because I want to understand if they're bars that I want to pick up more of in January when they're available, or if they're ones that I can skip. So I do want to melt some of them, but I'm not planning on melting all of them. Let's go through the 7 that I have warmed. I also have been making YouTube shorts, so you can check those out if you're looking for more information. I'm assuming that most of what I'm saying here I probably said in the short as well, but maybe it's different. We have Pixie. Now this is one that I was very excited about based on the notes, as well as I did really enjoy this on cold. This has notes of pink pepper, mandarin, heliotrope, exotic teakwood, and vanilla oak. So I put this whole bar into my bedroom in between 4 warmers, and it was really pretty. It was a good medium performing bar. This is a very perfumey bedroom type fragrance. I feel like I do get a lot of the heliotrope, the oak, and the pink pepper. It is a beautiful scent. I'm surprised it wasn't a little bit stronger because of the fact that I put the whole bar in the warmer, but I kind of liked it. You know, it's not headache inducing. The room smelled very beautiful without being too much. This one only lasted about a day though, and then it died, got much weaker. I'm gonna pick up probably another bar or 2. It's not one that I'm gonna need tons of, but I think another bar or 2 I will really enjoy for the bedroom. So Pixie was a winner. Then we have Banana Nut Bread. This is one that I did not think I was going to enjoy. I'm not a big banana person in wax. I don't love, even the very bakery heavy banana is not my favorite, but most banana to me pulls that Laffy Taffy runty banana. But I wanted to melt this and I wanted to give this one a try because of all the banana scents that I have tried, this one's not half bad. This is banana, nuts, and spices. It really does smell like a very authentic banana nut bread. It is very bakery heavy. I do think that the banana doesn't lean super Laffy Taffy or runty. I do get hints of that oil, that kind of runty note, but it's mainly a bakery heavy banana. Of all the banana scents that I have tried, I will say that this one is by far my favorite, but I'm just not a banana person, and so it's not one that I am going to pick any more of. I do like trying scents like this occasionally because I find that my preferences change as I get older. Maybe it's hormone related, whatever it is, just my nose changes. And so it's nice occasionally to try a scent that you don't think you're going to love, just in case you do. Not for me, but if you like banana bakery, it's a good bar. It was a good performer. Sorry for the glare. The lighting today is not the best. It is a very dreary, very windy, cold day today. I think it's like 28 degrees, but my phone says with the wind blowing as, hard as it is, it feels like 10 degrees out. So it is just a dreary, nasty day, and I'm not getting much natural light. So there's a little bit of a glare. Okay, next up we have Taj Mahal. This one says it's a soft oriental fragrance built on a base of musk, amber, and subtle florals. This one was not what I anticipated it being. To me, this is not a very oriental scent. I get a lot of baby powder from this, both on cold and on warm. This is actually going in this room today. It's on day 2, I believe. It is a strong bar. I put 6 cubes in this room and then 2 cubes in the hall bathroom, and it is a powerhouse. The scent was coming down the hallway. I actually like this one though. It's baby powder to me, and I do get hints of that subtle floral. I like this because it's unique to my collection. I don't have anything else like this. I don't really have any baby powder type notes. I've got Liliana's Lullaby from L3, but that's a like bedtime bath scent. So this one really stands out to me as being very different, and I like that. I like that it's fresh, like the little bit of floral that you get from this. It's almost a mature woman leaning perfume scent. I think I will pick up another bar or 2 of this. Again, similar to Pixie, it's not one that I need a lot of, but I think I will enjoy this in the bedrooms and bathrooms, especially in like the spring and summer, or after I have cleaned the house. It's that type of scent to me. So not what I anticipated being, but it's still a very pretty bar. Then we have Woolly Slippers. This was one I was definitely excited about based on the notes. This is sugared lavender, marshmallow, and vanilla. I like this one, but it's not my favorite. I was hoping for like a sweet lavender marshmallow, kind of like the Bath and Body Works type, just with like added vanilla. This lavender leans very herbal to me. I don't always love Scentsy's lavender. It's not as sweet as I would hope it to be. So to me, this is a little bit more of an herbal lavender, and this is very marshmallow heavy. Definite marshmallow, that's really what I get from this, and the lavender is much more in the background. I melted this bar in this wax room here. It performed great. It was a pretty scent. It was perfect for a bedroom type space. And I did feel like the lavender came out a little bit more on warm than it does on cold, but it just was a very marshmallow heavy bar. I know a lot of people are excited about this one. A lot of people really like this one, so don't take my word for it. If the scent notes appeal to you, definitely get it. It's just not one that is standing out to me based on some of these other bars, so I'm not going to pick up any more of Woolly Slippers. Then we have Cozy Kitchen. So I think this is one that maybe a lot of you are familiar with. It's been available quite a bit in recent years. I'm actually very surprised this one made the Bring Back My Bar. This has notes of warm oats, brown sugar, and spicy cinnamon swirl. So I melted this in the kitchen the same day that I did banana nut bread. I melted that one in the living room, and then Cozy Kitchen in the kitchen. And it is a good bar. It is a warm oatmeal, spicy cinnamon type fragrance. I think the way it's described, scent notes wise, very much aligns with what this bar smells like. It is a good, warm, cozy bakery scent. I am not a huge fan of these fragrances. I can melt them and enjoy them during the holidays, but that's really the only time I want any sort of oatmeal, spicy type of fragrance. So while this was an enjoyable scent, it's not one that I need more of. And actually, I'm pretty positive I have another bar of this from last year. And so I probably should have melted that one instead of this one because it's older, but that's okay. I will save that for a day that I'm craving a warm bakery scent. But if you like those warm bakery, like you've been cooking in the kitchen making cookies all day, you would really enjoy Cozy Kitchen. Then we have Thunderstorm. So this one was definitely my most anticipated bar of the whole Bring Back My Bar. A lot of my friends really enjoy this, and just based on the notes and how it's described, I knew that I would probably really like this. So this says, very refreshing, sharp, spicy outdoor fragrance like the breeze in a storm. Okay, so I've got this melting in my bedroom right now. And I like it, but I don't think it's a love. This pulls kind of laundry to me in a way. There's something very fresh about it. It does smell like a very fresh air type of scent, but I'm getting some laundry notes to this. I like it though, don't get me wrong. I wish it was a little bit lighter on kind of those laundry notes and more wet grass, atmospheric, cool air type of scent. I don't know. Like the scent of the air after it rains. There's a certain scent that the air has. I was kind of hoping for something more along the lines of that. I still really like this. It just pulls a little bit laundry to me, and I'm not sure if it's an absolute favorite, but it is a really pretty scent, and I think that this would be beautiful blended with like a petrichor or with a fresh cut grass, those types of fragrances. So I am going to get a couple bars of this, but maybe only like 1 or 2. I'm not going to go crazy on it because I don't envision me melting this one tons, but definitely in the spring and summertime mixed with a dirt and a grass, I think this one would be really, really pretty. And this is a powerhouse. This is a very strong bar. And then the last of the Bring Back My Bars I have for this first kind of warm review, one that was the most surprising to me, and that is Orange Clove Pomander. So this is one I did not like on cold at all. I probably would have put this in my bottom 5 or bottom 6, whatever I did in my cold sniff video. And I'm looking on my my sheet, and for whatever reason I don't have the notes for this one. But this is like ginger, spice, and vanilla, something like that. There was a definite ginger in there. It's obviously very spicy. There's clove in the notes. I think that's it. Ginger, spice, and vanilla. When I warmed this, I put this in my living room because I was like, you know what? This is a very holiday appropriate scent. So this is one I would like to try because it also fits the atmosphere. It fits the season. I'm definitely a seasonal melter. So I put this in my living room, kind of forgot about it, moved on with life or whatever. And then I was like, what am I smelling? And I kept going back in the living room and being like, wow, this smells really good. And I felt like I was trying to convince myself I didn't like it because I did not like it on cold. But at some point I was saying to myself, Alexis, if you keep going in this living room, you like this scent. Like I was going in there to smell it. This is a very pretty bar. Now, I will say, I wish it was a better performer. It was maybe a medium, but this whole bar was in my living room, and it was definitely on the lighter side. This might be a bar that would benefit from sitting for a while and kind of curing. I know that's a little bit of, I don't know, I don't want to say controversy, but SCENTSY wax doesn't necessarily need to cure. But I have found sometimes that bars that have been sitting for a year or even just a few months sometimes smell stronger. And so based on the experience I had melting this, I think this is one that could benefit for sitting for a while, which is fine. I'm definitely going to repurchase more of this one in January, and I doubt I will melt it until the next December because it's very much a holiday forward fragrance to me. This doesn't scream orange. It's not citrusy. It's more of like a ginger, spice, simmer pot on the stove. You might have a little bit of orange in there, but it is not a citrusy scent. It is a very classic holiday scent. And I said this in the short that I did for this bar, but this almost smells a little bit smoky. It is not a smoky fragrance, but something on warm, the way all of those notes blended together pulled a little bit smoky for me. You guys, I really like this bar. I really like this bar, and I had to message Elizabeth from Elizabeth Scenes and Scents here on YouTube, because I know this is one that she really loves. And obviously when I got this on cold, I was like, no, it's not for me. So I had to message her that I understand where she's coming from with this. It really is a pretty bar. But again, me smelling it on cold, it really doesn't do much for me. It's when it was warming, I really, really enjoyed it. So definitely one, I might get a 6-pack just of this. This was really, really nice and such a nice surprise. So warm your wax. If there's a scent that even remotely smells good to you on cold, give it a try and see what it does on warm. But those are it for the bring back my bars. I have 2 more Scentsy that I went through over the last week or so. I have Happy Holidays. I think I got this in a flash sale maybe, or it was in some sort of bundle, I think, for a sale one time. This is pear, clove, and pine. Really pretty scent. I melted this in my kitchen one day, and this I left in the warmers for 2 or 3 days. I like the clove, the pine, the pear. It's a tree scent, but the spice isn't very heavy, and I feel like the pear really came out. It made it just a nice, fresh tree scent. It was really stunning, very fresh, very bright and fun, and kind of a different take on some of the other deeper, more woodsy trees. Liked that a lot. And speaking of pear and tree, I melted the Griswold Christmas bar. So this one was leaving at the end of December. I don't think I'm going to get any more of it, just because I do try to stay away from the licensed bars if I can because of the price increase. But this is a really fantastic scent. And I don't know all of the notes, but I know it has some sort of tree and it has pear in it as well. This one is not near as fresh and bright as the Happy Holidays. This one is definitely more tree, and then you're getting just the sweetness from the pear. But it is a really fantastic scent. I included this in my top holiday melt pick for Scentsy for, you know, this current season. So I hope that you guys, if you like tree, were able to pick this one up. So that is it for Scentsy. Then we can move on to vendor wax. I don't have tons, but still had enough to share with you all. Out of just kind of one-off, you know, 1 cent per vendor for quite a few vendors. So first up we have Britta's. I melted a souffle in Kim's Special Eggnog. So this one is eggnog and roasted pine cones. I have been saving this little souffle because, you know, we did the Britta's kind of melting challenge in August, and I was able to get through probably a good 75% of my Britta's wax in that month. So that was awesome. But there were a few scents like this one that I did not want to melt in August. I wanted to melt, obviously, during the holiday season. So I've been saving this one because it is so beautiful. I think Britta's has probably my favorite roasted pine cone oil. It's so strong and just potent. It smells so good. And then you mix it with that beautiful eggnog. This was really, really pretty. I'm taking a break from Britta's for a little bit, just as I try to shrink my stash, but eventually I would love to get that again. From Salt Mountain Melt, I melted Rocky Mountain Christmas. And I believe this was my last Christmassy scent from Salt Mountain. So I was able to get through all my Christmas wax from her, which is really great, not to let it go another year. This one is fresh balsam, sugar cookies, and buttercream. So you might hear those notes and think this is a very bakery heavy tree, but I would disagree. I really got a lot of the balsam from this, and it was a very fresh tree scent. Yeah, I loved it because I love tree fragrances, but if you're buying this one thinking it might be a tree blended with bakery, and I know a lot of people don't like tree on its own, but want to blend it with bakery notes, this would not be that type of fragrance. It is a very fresh, sweet tree scent. It was so good though. I loved it. And I will say, I am really loving my Salt Mountain melts, you guys. I've taken a break from her shop for the last like 3 pre-orders just because I needed to get through what I have. But everything I melt from her, I'm like, gosh, that's so good. That's so good. That's so good. So I'm wondering if she's going to have a pre-order in January maybe. So I'll have to look at the list and figure out if I can swing it or what, if anything is tempting me, because she has some exceptionally beautiful wax. Okay, from Lavender and Speckles, I finished off a sampler from the Barbershop sampler. This is Barbershop and Strawberry Pound Cake. Obviously, I've talked about Barbershop 1,000 times on this channel, but I really also love Lavender and Speckles Strawberry Pound Cakes. It's one of my favorites. So this is basil leaf, bergamot, woodsy spice blended with sweet strawberries, lemon zest, fluffy pound cake, and vanilla. Melted this in the bedroom. It is so beautiful. You really get that masculine cologne leaning Barbershop, and then you're getting that sweet strawberry pound cake. They blend so nicely together, and it's like a great combination of feminine and masculine. Beautiful. I'm not sure if I have any more of this one or not, but definitely one I would get again, and a great performer. And then my last one off is Second and Spruce. I'm melting this today. You guys, I am so happy to be melting this. This is Tipsy Gingerbread Man. I've talked about this one so much in the last year because it is the most amazing holiday fragrance ever. This is gingerbread cookies, eggnog, and frosted sugar cookies. Her eggnog is amazing. It is rich, decadent, creamy. Her gingerbread is warm, but it's not too spicy. Oh my gosh, you guys. So this had a couple of shapes in it, and I'm melting this in my open concept, and I just, like Steph the Scented Gemini says, want to lick the air. It is so beautiful. I'm really glad to have melted this. What date is today? The 20th of December, I think. Yeah, I think it's December 20th. And I was telling Summer the other day, I was like, I'm getting down to the wire. I'm like, there's so many Christmas wax that I want to melt that I haven't yet. This was one of them. Christmas trees and cream from Teddy B's I haven't melted yet. I'm like, I gotta get moving. So another reason I'm not melting all of the Bring Back My Bars, because I want to melt my Christmas wax too. But I could not recommend Tipsy Gingerbread Man enough. I'm hoping at this point you guys have tried it, because she's offered it quite a bit recently. In the samplers that she did over the summer, and then I think it was also in her last pre-order. So I would love to know if you guys like that one, because it is just, it's one of my favorites. It's so good. From Super Tarts, I finished off 2. This was a donut shape in Savior. So I cut the donut up and then I melted this in my bedroom. The scent notes are very summer-esque, but obviously Savior, was appropriate for Christmas time. This is Lagoon Waters, Pineapple, Rain, White Currant, Cucumber, and Lime. This was pretty, not one that I'm going to get more of. This is very, very fresh. Definitely got the pineapple. The pineapple stuck out to me a lot, and I'm not a huge pineapple fan in wax. It pulls, like the artificial waxy candied pineapple is not my favorite, but this is a very fresh, aquatic with some fruity notes type of scent. Pretty for the bedrooms. I mean, it was a good performer. I left this in the bedrooms for a couple of days, but just not one that I feel strongly about to get again. And then kind of similar with this one. This was a Bam Bag in Alfie. Love the name of that. This one is Marshmallow Candy Cane and Christmas Cookies. So this one, at one point when she was doing more like weekly RTSs, I don't feel like she's doing them weekly anymore. They're more like once a month or so from the little bit that I've seen from what she's doing. I haven't been paying attention because I did a really large fall pre-order right around Natalie's birthday, and then I did Wax Wednesday. That was much smaller though. Definitely a smaller pre-order, but I don't need any more Super Tarts, so I've been trying to not really look. In any case, back in the early summer, this BAM bag was just sitting on the site and nobody was buying it. And one day I was like, I'm gonna buy it. Like, I was getting other things from an RTS and I threw this in my bag. Melted this a couple of times this month, you know, in various parts of the house. It's a pretty scent. This is a great mint if you're not a huge mint fan. If you want mint a little bit, but you also want a lot of the marshmallow, the Christmas cookies, this would be perfect. This is a very bakery heavy and a little bit of mint. It was a very pretty scent. I enjoyed it, but it just didn't stand out as something amazing or anything I would need to get more of. And it was more of a medium performer. My Super Tarts wax performs very well. Normally it is powerhouses, but this one just kind of missed the mark a little bit. Okay, and then last vendor is of course Teddy B's. I've got 2 samples and 1 souffle. So this sample from summer, this is Coconut Clouds. I stuck this in my hall bathroom warmer one day. This is Coconut Sandalwood and Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds. I love this. I mean, this is a perfect body care fragrance. I really love Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds. You're getting that body care coconut. Really beautiful. I would love to see that come back. It would be a perfect summertime bedroom scent. Then I had a little sample from her shop in Lost in the Orange Grove. Oh, come on. There we go. So I do have a souffle of this fragrance. Smelling this, I can't remember what all the notes are. Is this like a replica type? Like, isn't there an Orange Grove replica scent? This might be a dupe of that. In any case, it is a very citrusy heavy scent. And so I looked at this little scent shot and I was like, I bet that will fill up my kitchen. So I put this whole scent shot in a kitchen hot plate warmer. This was a powerhouse. This threw throughout the whole house. It was such a nice, fresh, and clean scent. Perfect type of fragrance if you're wanting to clean scents out of the kitchen. Just if you're cleaning the house in general, a spring or summer day, if the windows are open. But now I know for the souffle I have to just take a piece of it and put it in that hot plate. Like, don't fill up every warmer. So this is a beautiful fragrance. I really liked it, but I'm glad that I don't have a ton of it because I think it's a scent that will take me a long time to go through. Normally with her souffles, I will chop them into 8 pieces and spread them throughout my open concept. This is one of those scents that if I wanted to do in my open concept, I would do 1 piece in like my kitchen and then 1 piece in my living room, and it would be enough. So that souffle I think will take me a while to go through, which is great. I love a scent that you can have a small amount of and it takes you a while to use. But if you like those citrusy, almost like lemongrassy type of fragrances, that one was phenomenal. And then lastly, I finished off a souffle in Holiday. Really enjoy this scent. I melted this in the open concept, I think last weekend. This is Wreaths Hanging, Cookies Baking, Winter Garland, and a Warm Fireplace. I've said this multiple times, but to me, this is the same scent as Christmas at Santa's from Sassy Girl, which I also have in my melting basket that I haven't melted yet. So, so much wax, so little time. It's a warm Christmas wreath. You do get hints of the fire, but it is mild. It is not an overly smoky scent. It is sweet from the cookies. I love these types of fragrances. They really are just a perfect Christmassy, warm and cozy type of scent. Love that one so much. But that is it. So those are all of the vendor and Scentsy wax that I've gone through over the last week or so. In particular, those 7 Bring Back My bars. I really hope that you guys enjoyed, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye.